All right. Our brother Tinker Minute in the house. Go to the beautiful Queen. Queen in the house. How you doing, sister?
People, dear brother, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
You know, this is an excellent topic as always. I know we have to unfortunately continue to talk about this every so often, trying to get the point across to our people. But you know something, and I know you and I have talked about this on numerous occasions. But what I've come to realize is that you know the N word it basically is an addiction for our people, and it's no different than our people being addicted to smoking crack, cigarettes, drinking alcohol, being addicted to drinking alcohol. What happens is when you have someone who's addicted, their addiction, so strong that they can't, it's hard for them to break that addiction. So in other words, you're trying to talk to someone who's smoking, I'm going to use crack. Let's just say crack. You're talking to someone who's smoking crack. You're trying to explain to them that this crack is bad for you. Their addiction, is already programmed to tell them that I love smoking crack. It makes me feel great. and they can't. There's no way you can convince them to stop smoking it. The only way they're going to stop doing smoking the drug is if they internally decide they decide to stop on their own through their own discipline. And the N word is the same way. And these individuals in our community who are putting out this garbage about the N-word, having African origins, the N-word that we're using today. It's sickening because it's almost like, I foresee in the future somebody out there who calls themselves conscious coming out with a video on YouTube, whatever future internet site we have, social media site, and making the argument that, it's okay to smoke crack. I smoke crack because crack comes from the origin of it comes from the coca leaf. It actually comes from cocaine, which comes from the coca leaf. And cocaine is, coca is from the earth. So I'm actually smoking from the earth, and the water is H2O, and then the heat is the flame. And you talk about all the natural elements coming. I mean, this sounds ridiculous. But when it comes from somebody who quote unquote is supposed to be conscious, we're sitting back. Oh, that's deep. That's deep. So now, all along, you've seen the effects of smoking crack. You will go run out and start smoking crack? Of course not. But the power, unfortunately, sometimes of personalities that influence us is very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And that's what's happening now. For example, I'll give you another quick example. On Facebook one day, just looking at the news feed, and some person out there had put a post saying that, yo, I just found out that, the Spanish word punta, which is actually a Spanish curse word for the B word. Did you know that punta comes from, actually, has African origins, because the Spanish, they couldn't pronounce the word pata, the Kemetic god, pata. And so that's what they were trying to say when they say punta. And you got all these just impressionable people, what I'm going to call them, who are commenting like, that's deep. Yo, that's deep. You dropping science, you dropping knowledge. And I'm like, wow. It doesn't take a lot for somebody to put out something that they try to put some things together to make it sound like it has sense. They mix something of knowledge with ignorance to destroy our people. And so the bottom line is, it's an addiction, and our people are afraid to fight the addiction. No matter how many Dr. John Henry Clark books they read, no matter how many Dr. Ben books they read, no matter how many visits they made, Dr. Ben, no matter how many trips they made to chemists, it don't matter. They can sit at the feet of the greatest ancestral monuments on this planet, but the addiction is too hard to fight. So instead of fighting it, it becomes, I'm not going to fight this addiction. I'm going to convince you that my addiction is right. That's the bottom line. And so, and that's it. And if we don't keep pushing that person, nah, sister, nah, brother, you got to fight the addiction. When we don't do that, it gives them more and more power to stand on that falsehood, that lie that is allowing them to keep that addiction. And so it really takes everything that we're doing in terms of transforming ourselves, when we become quote unquote conscious, when you get knowledge and information and you start to shed the cracker waves, it destroys that whole system completely. Because what it says is you can pick up a book by Dr. Amos Wilson. You can read Blueprint for Black Power from front to back and quote every line verbatim. But you don't have to stop smoking weed. You don't have to come out of the crack house selling poison to our people. You don't have to stop drinking alcohol. You don't have to stop disrespecting our sisters. Or if you're a sister, you don't have to cover yourself up and stop exposing your whole body to the world. You can do all that stuff and just wear red, black, and green thongs. It don't matter because there's no system, there's no foundation in place that says you have to kick these cracker behaviors. And so we still, in essence, the cracker has us in mentally. He still has us. We're addicted. It is God. To answer the question that you posed this evening, the N-word is our God. The same individuals who are pushing and constantly downing Christians. Oh, they do Christians. You know what I mean? They just, on the white man,
Mm-hmm.
The Muslims, oh, they just on the Arab side, but you on the in-God side.
Woo! Woo! Ho! Ho! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
That in-God got you, and you want to worshiping your in-God, and that's all I got to say for this.
Woo! Man, see you on. That's why I love that woman there, man. Much as I complain and talk and argue, I ain't going nowhere, brothers. Eat your heart out. Good God Almighty. Did she just say, wow? That's one of the hardest hitting. I got my brother. I'm coming right to you, brother. I see you on the line, so I'm coming in there to get you. But I just got to take a second. And I don't play no favorites here. You either come and you bring it or you don't. But wow. So, wow. So we got a bunch of our people who bow down on their knees to the God of self-destruction and self-hatred. And they just giving in to the God of self-hatred because they have decided that the God of self-hatred owns them. And then she's saying they point fingers at everybody else. They point fingers at the person that's a Christian because he believes in a crackers God, but he know he's not supposed to call himself the N-word. They point fingers at the Muslims saying, oh, he got the Arab religion. And his Arab God got an Arab name, but Elijah Muhammad said the black man is God. He didn't say he was an N-word. They say, well, Garvey messed up and he didn't do this, that, and but Garvey told you he deprecated the term. So all of the greats, Nat Turner, all the killers, all of the freedom fighters said we were black people. And their God was black since they believed in black power and black rebellion. But if you use that word, you believe in self-destruction. And you bow down on your knees to self-destruction and self-hatred every night. That's heavy.